What a day on the farm. Not working on these two, even though we just pulled the engine out of the CJ today. We are not going to be working on that for about a month because we have a 6.2 scat pack coming in for the lift at CJ. So that'll get scat pack swapped eventually. Whole build process on that, cage and everything. But for now, it is going to sit and look pretty right there. What we're going to talk about today is the 71 Super Beetle. As you know, we have a 72 Beetle over there. Or actually, excuse me, that's a 71. This is a 72. Doesn't matter, they look the same. We have another Beetle. We got the big Beetle. This is going to be the little Beetle. This is actually a sun bug, believe it or not. As you can see from the original paint, the sunroof, everything on the inside, and kind of the whole 9 yards. It is one of the more rare colors of the bugs. It's a little bit rusted on the front, but not so bad in the middle. So that's why we're going to keep this bug as the new project, the little bug as we're going to call it. It actually has wide body fenders. It used to have wide body front fenders, but those got sold. And I'll tell you why in a second. But we kept the wide body rear fenders. We got a nice big fiberglass spoiler, big pro stock fiberglass flip up front end for it. Collecting a bunch of parts for it here now. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but this is what's going to be known as the little bug, or the for lack of better words, SRT bug, since we have the donor vehicle over here. And look, before you guys jump on me, because this is going to be an abnormal build, that's why I'm doing it. I really enjoy building things that are unique. I think there's a little bit of irony and everything. That's why I like beetles. You know, I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. It's cool when you get out of a beetle as a big guy. People look at you a bit different, right? And yeah, that's really the whole point. My mind works in weird ways. We're not even going to talk about that. So what we are going to talk about is why we're going to take this 71 Sunbug, which has a really cool interior setup, by the way, and then take this and merge it with that SRT4 2.4 liter out of a Dodge Neon. So yeah, hear me out, man. Traditional rear air-cooled, rear engine, rear-wheel drive Volkswagen Beetles, the people's car, so to speak. They're super great. They're very fun platforms. Baja Bugs are awesome. You can put them on anything. They're cheap. They're everywhere. It is truly the people's car to build. I just like them, right? So anyways, I digress. I think the irony of being not only a big guy in a Beetle, it would be even better to have another ironic twist of having a front-wheel drive, front engine, power plant in a VW Bug. So that's what we're going to do. That's the way we're approaching this build. And yeah, we could have went like Honda CRV, K24, K20, put some serious power down and made it, kind of a good platform to do street strip with. But I like Mopars, man. I got that scat pack coming for the Jeep. I think I just got to stick to Mopar on this one. And what better Mopar for front wheel? There is no better Mopar for front wheel drive than the SRT4. I present to you in all its glory the Dodge Neon. Traditional dad car, so to speak, built to compete against all the front-wheel drive Hondas. 2.4 liter turbo SRT4 Dodge Neon. I don't know what else to say about it besides aftermarket turbo, built internals, custom cams, kind of a street strip, setup already on the Dodge Neon, supposedly 500 horsepower, programmable boost, programmable tuner, so you can change the fuel map if you need to. Kind of has the whole 9 yards for making more power. Again, built internals. I didn't see any receipts. I have not broken open the engine, but built internals, 500 horsepower. Take it or leave it. Take it for what you will. That's what I bought it with. So I did have videos of it doing drags 10 to 11 seconds in the quarter. So, fast enough. I've also test drove it, obviously. So fast enough for the Beetle. This is what we're going to work with. Dodge Neon platform. Obviously, it's been used for a certain style of driving before. It's got coilovers in the rear as well, with the adjustables cranked all the way up to give it a little more traction on the front. Kind of the whole 9 yards here. But again, it is absolutely and fully gutted, which is great for my application because a lot of this isn't going to be used. And I'm going to try and retain as much of the OEM wiring, OEM system as possible just for simplicity. But the whole body is too wide for the Bug anyway. So there's going to be a lot of custom work to get this done and in place. But at the end of the day, it is a great donor for a project like this. And if you're like one of the 15 people who like Dodge Neons and you don't want to see it chopped up, the body will be for sale. I'll be gentle taking what I need out of it, and feel free to come get it and build it however you want. But I am going to take that power plant, that 2.4, steering column, kind of whole 9 yards, and shove it in the Beetle. So that's the idea. That's the goals of this next build. So, and before I really get started and get into the nitty gritty of taking this apart, my game plan is, one, I need to wait for my, full pro stock fiberglass front end for the Beetle to get in the mail. I need to put the roll cage in it. I need to paint that, do the floors, and I need to take everything off the front, because I think my plan here is to add removable electrical connectors and everything else for all the electrical harnesses, do almost a firewall chop, so to speak, leave all the subframe, leave the suspension in place, leave the engine, the transaxle, everything in place. That way we can just kind of rotate this into there and meld and mesh some metal together, and hopefully it just all connects. Once that's all in there, I'll go ahead and start working on the dash, the steering, the seats, and everything else, and kind of meld it into the Beetle itself. So that's the plan of attack. There's going to be quite a lot of videos on this. I'm also moving in 2 weeks, so there'll be a lot of videos on this relatively quickly, because I do want to make it a roller on the Beetle and get the rest of it to a new buyer before I leave. So that's the plan of attack. Should be fun. Definitely an interesting, unique build. So that's the path I'm going to take. Follow along if you want. See you guys in the next one.